3D images, often used for crime scenes, are now giving investigators a closer look into a plane crash that killed 4 people along I-15 just last week. That technology helps investigators collect thousands of pieces of data in just a few moments. And as Northern Utah specialist Mike Anderson explains, Federal Aviation Administration will now have a chance to examine important details days and weeks after the crash. Mike?
Yeah, Mike, if you were to show up to the scene here today, there wouldn't be a whole lot you could gather. And, in the past, if you missed something on the day of, it was probably tough luck. Well, with 3D imaging, that all has changed.
Each accident or crime scene is unique, but for an experienced investigator,
and it will slowly turn in a 360-degree turn.
Certain aspects may start to look the same.
And as it spins, it's sending out lasers, collecting thousands of points.
Sergeant Tanner JENSEN with the State Bureau of Investigation says 3D imaging cameras like this one help make sure nothing is overlooked.
It just gives us better opportunity to really focus on crime scenes and make sure that we're getting every detail the best we can.
JENSEN says by hand you might pick up roughly 50 measurements, but with the Federal camera that was initially designed for engineers,
it'll get a 360-degree image calculating thousands upon thousands of measurements every second.
Several agencies statewide have these cameras.
So this is the handheld scanner, and we use this for small crime scenes as well as tight spaces.
And taking that data into a computer.
Your camera being right there.
Investigators can virtually walk through a scene, grabbing data they may not have thought to get earlier.
It's kind of like a video game where you can go into the scene and move throughout different areas of the scene.
And if it ends up in a courtroom, JENSEN says these tools prove invaluable in showing what happened.
It's always very difficult to sit down and explain to a jury how things happened.
Yeah, and in this case, all of the data is being turned over to the FAA, and their investigation is quite involved. It could take more than a year to come to a conclusion in that. Mike Anderson, KSL5 News, back to you.
Yeah, amazing what technology can do, Mike. Thank you. Well, the funeral services for the victims of that crash have been announced. The funeral for Lane and Diana Clark will be held on Wednesday at 1 p.m. at the Ogden Tabernacle. Services for Perry and Sarah Huffaker will take place on Thursday at 1 o'clock, also at the Ogden Tabernacle.